take this panel off. This weather stripping over here, just use a trim tool and just pry up on the little retainers. Set that aside. And then pull all these push clips out. Now pull that cover off out of the way. Now we're going to take these screws out, use a T20 socket. Underneath the car, there's a 10mm bolt right here, and on the other side, take those out with a 10mm socket. There's 2 screws under here. Use a T20 socket to take those off. Slide that back, and then you can do the same on the other side. Now I'm going to take the wheels off. You don't necessarily need to take the wheels off, but it gives you a lot more room. You could just turn the wheels side to side. Now use a 22mm socket, remove the lug nuts, and take the wheel off. Take these screws out, use a T20 socket. Pull this aside. There's a push pin right here. Just take that out. Just use a trim tool. Now just grab this trim piece. On the inside there is a clip. You can just use your finger and just fold the clip over. I can show you a little better once I pull it out. And then you go up the line, push the other clip in, and just go up the rest of the trim. Just slide this out. Using a plastic trim tool helps, works a little better. Just slide that out of the way. You don't have to take it off completely. You can just leave it like that if you want. If you wanted to, you could take the rest of it off. You can just push those down just like that from the inside, and then they pop out. Underneath here, you want to take this bolt out. Use a 7mm socket. Now just grab the bumper and just pull out. You can pull it past this trim, just like that. Then you want to do the same on the other side. If your vehicle has fog lights, you want to disconnect those. Just push down on the connector. Slide those out. Just push down. Do the same on the other side. All right, grab the bumper and just slide it off. Now we're going to take these bolts out. Use a 10mm socket. One there. There's 2 up top. And same on the other side. Take those out. And this piece slides right off. There's a bolt right here. Use a 10mm ratchet wrench. Take this bolt out. Or you can use a ratchet if you can fit it in here. Pull that bolt out. And take this bolt out. Use a 10mm socket. These 2 bolts on top. Same 10mm socket. Then this bolt in the front. And grab the light assembly. Slide it up. Slide it out. Disconnect the connector right here. Just slide up on that lock tab. Then you can push down. And slide the connector out. Might be a little bit of dirt in there. That slides right out. Now just take the plug it in, lock it down, push down on the lock. We can line this up. Make sure everything looks good. It's all lined up. The long bolts are going to go right here. Get that started right here. And then also right here. And before we tighten those down, let's put the other bolts in. Right here. And right here. And just put a little pressure on the light and tighten these down. And use the ratchet wrench for this one. And snug it down. And this cover right here, line that up. Now I'll put these screws in, get them all started. And tighten them down. Now take the bumper cover and slide it very carefully in position. Slide it up. Lock that in place. Do the same on this side. Get underneath that trim. Slide it up. And over the clip, just like that. On the sides, you want to put this screw in. Might have to get it started first. Tighten that down. Make sure you plug in connector for the fog lights. Put that all in. We can slide this trim back in place. Flick it down. That's good. Put these screws in. And we'll tighten these down. Any of the push pins you took out, make sure you push those back in. Right there. Then you can do the same on the other side. Underneath, put these two screws in. Tighten those down. And then there's a bolt that goes right here. Put that in. It's a 10mm bolt. Tighten that down, and then do the same on the other side. And put the wheels on. Put the lug nuts on. Now I'm going to tighten the lug nuts to 140 foot-pounds in a cross pattern to tighten the wheel down evenly. And just go around again, double check. Now I'll put these screws back in place. Get those all started. And tighten them down. Take the push pins, get that started, and push those down right there and on the other side. Now put this cover on, slide it in position, up top. Move the weather strip, slide that in place. Do that on both sides. And take all the push pins, get those all started, and lock them down. For adjusting the headlight, you can use a Phillips head screwdriver and slide it down in position here, where turning one direction will go down, turning the other direction will go up.
This is going to be a general tutorial on how to aim your brand new TRQ headlamp assemblies. Okay, so looking at your brand new TRQ headlamp assembly, you're going to see where your low beam is, and you'll see a little dot right in the center. And that is the axis point, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to mark that with an erasable marker, just so it's easier to see. Next, what we need to do is measure from the level ground up to this point and take note of that measurement. Now we're just going to pull the car up to our wall. On our vehicle, we remember that the measurement was 28 inches for our access point. Your vehicle may be different, but that's where I'm going to put this tape, just above that 28 inches. We'll do the same on the other side. Okay, so let's just back the vehicle up, straight back 25 feet from the wall. And now that we moved our vehicle 25 feet back from the wall, we're going to start with our measurement here. That's where the headlamp center is. We're going to go down 4 inches on the driver's side. On the passenger side, we have our line here. What we need to do is go down 2 inches. To adjust the driver's side, we're going to cover our passenger side headlamp. If you look at the back side of your headlamp assembly, you're going to see something that looks like this. This is the adjustment. Some of these headlight assemblies have 1, 2, or even more of them, but you should at least have one. This is how we're going to adjust the headlight beam. Now we're going to lower the top part of the beam down to just below this line. When you turn the adjustment to the right, it brings the beam up, and if you turn it to the left, it'll bring the headlight beam down. And this is this way on most vehicles. Let's continue on to doing the passenger side. All right, we properly aligned our TRQ headlamp assemblies. Okay, and on the quality TRQ headlamps for a pickup truck, the procedure is going to be the same. You're going to find your center dot, mark it, and then you'll measure from the level ground up to your dot. So once your headlamps are properly adjusted, it'll be time to adjust your fog lamps. You'll notice on the driver's side, the focal point is all the way at the bottom right now. I would like to bring it up so it meets up with approximately the bottom of the focal point of the headlight. Some fog lamps have an adjuster, others don't. The ones that do have an adjuster, you would just turn the adjustment to the left or to the right to adjust the beam up and down to where it needs to be. Now with your TRQ headlamps and fog lamps properly aligned, you can drive down the road safely.